Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Alright, so trackies, World Athletics has come up with some more, I guess, progressive plans. Ways on how they're going to progress the sport and make it more interesting and entertaining going forward. So I'm going to get into a few other things, or it's a couple things anyway. But yeah, I'm going to get into it and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts clearly. So one of the things that World Athletics is looking to do going forward, or will be doing going forward, is the World Championships will be the last track and field competition for the season. So from 2025 going forward, according to World Athletics, the World Championships will be the last, championships of the season, which means that the Diamond Leagues, any circuit racing, will be happening before the World Championships. Also, track is another very interesting, I guess, rule that they've come up with is that once the competition is being held, so once a championship is being held on a 9-lane track, they will be using all those 9 lanes, which means that going forward, there will be only 3 semifinals. And from those semifinals, well, there are only 3 semifinals anyway, but yeah, from those 3 semifinals, there will be taking top 3. So there will be no fastest loser spot, or as they call it now, because they don't like, fastest loser anymore. So they say non-automatic qualifier. So there'll be no more non-automatic qualifier going forward once there is a 9-lane track. If it's an 8-lane track, then yes, clearly, right? But once it's a 9-lane track, then yeah, there's no more non-fast, not what was it, non-automatic qualifier, or what a lot of us grow up hearing, fastest loser spot, right? So Chucky, let's get into the first tidbit with World Athletics talking about the World Championships being the last scheduled meet to be hosted in a track and field calendar, right? Nothing will be past, nothing, no championship or league race will be happening after the championship. Track is. I don't know. For me personally, what do I think about this rule? I don't think it makes any sense. The reason I'm saying this is I guess what they're trying to do is possibly potentially have, great performances throughout the year and people not necessarily saving it until the last. So they're trying to increase the appeal for the Diamond Leagues where the athletes will turn out. They have no choice but to turn out because guess what? You won't have any opportunity after the World Championships. So you have to turn out and you have to run well, right? But when I look at a country like Jamaica, and how they typically approach a year when they're heading into championships, right? First and foremost, the championship is the most important thing, right? And obviously, the season they're going to be building their season incrementally into that particular championships. So you won't be getting a Jamaican, save a Shelly-Ann Fraser Price that's capable of doing so, and possibly a Elaine, or even Sharika running 10-7 and faster, heading into these Diamond League meets from earlier on into the season. What you will find is that the athletes will be gradually building up into the season, as far as I'm concerned. Then, obviously, target the World Championship for their peak, go to the World Championship, dismantle that World Championships. So now, with this new rule, I suppose, that completely wipes that out. But I don't think they're gonna get the achieve the results they want to achieve, because one, yes, I do know Americans tend to just run fast regardless, right? Or you have a few athletes, I can look at, say, Mario Jose Lu. There are a few of them that really come out running fast, regardless of the time of the year. But I don't think you're gonna get the desired result that you want, because one, athletes could be potentially going into a world championships, with an injury. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be burning themselves out on the circuit before the championship, right? And then head to the potentially when they're supposed to be at the championships, they can't run or they can't perform at their best, obviously also affecting, because remember, contracts are done based on not your Diamond League, performances, but what you do at the championships. So that's going to be affecting your championship performance. I don't think any athlete is going to be, going out and doing more than what they typically do, let's just say, in a season, just because Diamond League is being held before. And I don't think also you're going to be seeing these amazing performances. I think that these rules again are geared towards forcing the athletes to always be performing at a high level, but I don't think that's plausible. You can't expect the athletes to be performing at the highest level throughout the whole year. That doesn't make any sense. You have to, build into that peak as far as I'm concerned, right? So with that said, the World Championships being the most important, and then they hold that peak for the rest of the few meets that are left. But when you take that away, who is going to be peaking for Diamond League and then hoping to hold it for the World Championships? I don't think they're going to do that. They're still going to peak for a World Championships. That's my opinion on that. So I don't know how this is going to go over, as it relates to what they're hopefully expecting to happen at the Diamond Leagues. But, let's see. Maybe, I'm just. All right, so track is moving on to this whole 9 lane, no non-automatic qualifier. Um, as it relates to once there are 9 lanes on a track, all 9 lanes will be used. So once you get to the semifinals, top three, and that is it. Okay, we have seen trekkies in the past where heats are not necessarily, evenly distributed in terms of, quality, right? We have seen where a whole host of athletes that are some of the best in the world end up in one semifinal, and a few of the semifinals, are just easy peasy cruising races, you would say, quote unquote, for the rest of the athletes. So let's say, for instance, you have again in this situation scenario, you have one of the heats really completely stacked, more than 3 athletes that are of real good quality are in that same semifinal, right? And remember, the semifinals are structured based on how you run or navigate your heat. That is very important. So if you're running a heat and you don't feel the need to go any faster and you win your heat, you are going to unfortunately get stacked up in a heat of death, unfortunately, because that's just how they do the ranking system when they get to the next round. So it doesn't matter how well you place. If your time isn't fast, you may end up in a semifinal of death. And again, we have seen it before, right? So, but when situations like that happen, you can count on a non-automatic spot to say, okay, even if you don't end up as an automatic qualifier, you can still be in a non-automatic spot because your time will be one of the fastest, because you're one of the best athletes in the world sprinting right now. That's the thought process. So when you completely eliminate that now, and people run however they run, to navigate their heat, and then you end up in a semifinal where you look on one semifinal is just rampacked, and then you see another two just, with regular people and maybe one, really good athlete, you're going to find where 2 athletes that don't necessarily, are not necessarily as fast as potentially in a stacked heat will make it into a final. And I don't think personally, Chuck, is that will make the race more appealing and more entertaining if the fastest people are not there. I believe that the races should be structured to get the fastest people to advance, right? So again, this is a rule that I don't agree with, right? I haven't been agreeing with anything they've been saying recently. But again, I mean, let's see. Let's see how it goes when they do implement it. I don't think they're going to get the desired results that they're looking for, because again, I believe the expectation is to force the athletes to run fast. I've noticed that they've done it in the longer distance events. You can clearly tell that there's literally no non automatic qualifier, right? It's literally top whatever it is in these longer distance races, and that is it. There's no more. So from the 800 up, and I don't believe again they're getting the desired results that they're looking for, because some of the top athletes end up being run out because they are unfortunately in a slower race, because these longer distance races are tactically run, right? So again, I don't think this is progressing the sport how they want it to progress the sport, but that's just my 2 cents on the topic. Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.